2021 Pure Mathematics Paper 2. Question 1. In an arithmetic series, the first term is 16, the 21st term is 24. Find the common difference. Write the formula for the n term. And then 21st term is 24. First term is 16. And then 21. So you substitute that, you need to find d. And you rearrange that 24 minus 16. You get d to be 0.4. Part B, hence. Hence means use the answer from part A. The d is 0.4. Find the sum of the first 500 terms. So that you get this formula from the formula book. The sum of n terms. N is 500. A is 16. N 500. D is 0.4 from that part A. That's why they use hence. And put down your calculator. And you get 57,900. Question 2. Part A, state the range of f. F of x is less than or equals to 7. If you notice the biggest number there, the highest number that y goes to is 7. So everything is below 7. So y is less than or equals to 7, or you can say f of x is less than or equals to 7. For everything for the range is what goes to the y-axis is below 7. Find g f of 1.8. First of all, you substitute 1.8 into f. So find f of 1.8. Substitute 1.8 into f, you get 0.52. And then you take the 0.52, that's 0.52 represents the f of 1.8. That goes now to replace x in g. So replace x in g with 0.52. And that will give you an answer of 39/40. For part C, we got g of x there. We want to replace the g of x with this letter y. And then we rearrange it to make x the subject. So rearranging it now to make x the subject, we can cross multiply. And then put all the x to one side, take the plus 3x to the left, it becomes minus 3x. Factorize x out, and then you divide by 5y minus 3. And then after, you can swap the y and x again, and that becomes the g inverse of x. Question number 3. We are using these laws of logs, so make sure you learn them. When you subtract two logs, you divide them. So what you do now is you do 12y plus 5 divided by 1 minus 3y. Now, this log 3 to the base 3 is looking at that, so it becomes 3 squared is equals to that. So you divide by 1, cross multiply. I put the formula there on cross multiply. AD times BC. AD is equals to BC. So AD is equals to BC. So you cross multiply here. You get a linear form. And then what you want to do now is you want to solve for y. So you take minus 27y to the left. And you take plus 5 to the right. So you get 9 minus 5 is 4. And you divide by 39, you get y. Question number 4, we're using these small angle approximations. You get it from the formula book. And then from there now, you got sine theta over 2. You will replace it with theta over 2. So sine theta over 2, you replace it with theta over 2. Sine squared theta, you replace it with theta squared. And then you remove the bracket. 4 times theta over 2 will give you 2 theta. 3 times 1 gives you 3. 3 times minus theta squared minus 3 theta squared. That's your answer. Question number 5. Find dy over dx and d squared y over dx squared. So when you differentiate power to the front, subtract 1 from the power. So 4 comes in front. 4 times 5 is 20. And then 4 minus 1 is 3. 3 times 24 is 72. 3 minus 1 is 2. 2 times 42 is 84. 2 minus 1 is 1. And when you differentiate 32x, you just get 32. Differentiate 11, you get 0. Differentiate the second time, 3 times 20 is 60x squared. Differentiate minus 72x squared gives you minus 7144x. And then you differentiate 84x, you get 84. It says verify that C has a stationary point at x equals to 1. So stationary means dy over dx equals to 0. So you put x is 1 in dy over dx. So you put in dy over dx, you put 1 for x, 1 for x, 1 for x there. And the answer would give you 0. You get 20 minus 72 plus 84 minus 32 is 0. So therefore, there's a stationary point at x equals to 1. For part 2, show that this stationary point is a point of inflection, giving reasons for your answer. When you put x equals to 1 in d squared y over dx squared, put 1 there, you get 0. So that means d squared y over dx squared is 0. Now you put a number smaller than 1, say 0.8. You put the number 0.8, 0.8. The answer is positive 7.2, which is greater than 0. So that is convex. If you put x is equals to 1.2, you pick a number bigger than 1. So 1 is in the middle. You've used 0.8. Now you pick a number bigger than 1. You pick 1.2. Put it in the d squared y over dx squared, 1.2, 1.2 there. You get minus 2.4, which is less than 0. So it's concave. So the stationary point is a point of inflection, because when you put d squared y over dx squared at x equals 0.8 is bigger than 0, you pick a number 1.2 is less than 0. So with this formula here, and it satisfies those two conditions, it's a point of inflection. Another way I've put at the bottom there for point of inflection to show it, when you differentiate the second time and you put that number is equal to 0, when you put 1 is equal to 0, and you differentiate the third time, d cubed y, this is the third time, which students rarely see, d cubed y over dx cubed. If you go to the third differential, you'll get that expression there. And then when you put x equals to 1, the answer would be negative. And the reason it makes it a point of inflection is because that answer is not 0. Just because it is not 0, it means it's a point of inflection. So differentiate the third time, put the number 1 and see if the answer is not 0. And that defines a point of inflection. Question number 6. If we look at the straight line, I put there in blue, and you go there, that angle is 180 degrees. 180 degrees is pi radians. So if we want to find A or B, we have to remove the angle theta in the middle. And then because those two angles are the same, the green one I've colored and the red, you divide by 2. So that angle is pi radians minus theta divided by 2. Part B, the area. We find the area of the left side, OAB, find the area. Find the area of the next side, OEF, because they are the same, they are congruent. And then we find the area of the middle shape. That's why when we times by 2, we'll find the area of OAB and multiply by 2. Now we simplify. This is algebra. 2 times a half. And then we have r squared would cancel each other. And then you're left with r squared pi minus theta over 2 plus 4r squared theta over 2. You use algebra, put them together, and factorize half r squared. You get that expression. It's not a difficult part to do now. Part C wants us to find the perimeter of the logo and then give the answer in terms of r, theta, and pi. So to find the perimeter of the logo, we need to find the arc length as well. So the arc length general formula is r times theta, theta in radians. So the arc length of OB, arc length OAB, OAB. That angle there is pi minus theta over 2. So really, the arc length of AB, the arc length AB there is r times the angle. The arc length EF is r times the same angle. The angle there is the same, r times that angle. And then the arc length of CD, the arc of CD is 2r times the angle theta. So the total perimeter is to add all of them. So you add the 4r, so the total perimeter is 2r plus 2r plus 2r theta, which is the arc length of the, plus these 2 there, which you double them, so the 2r pi minus theta over 2. So you got 4r plus 2r theta plus r pi minus r theta. So 2r theta minus r theta will give you r theta. Factorize r out, and you get that answer. Question number 7. We use differentiation dy over dx to get that differential function. You differentiate x cubed to get 3x squared. Differentiate 10x squared, you get 20x. Differentiate 27, you get x. Differentiate 23, you get 0. Now you sub in x equals to 5. You sub 5 in there, and you will get the gradient is 2. We know the gradient now is 2, and we know it passes at 5 minus 13. So x is minus 5, x is 5, and y is minus 13. Put that together, you get the equation of the line, y equals to 2x minus 23. And it says both C and L pass through 0 minus 23. So C meets L again on the y-axis. We want to find the exact area of that shape R there. So you can see in the orange color, that shape I've put in the orange color there is a trapezium. So we want to find area of the trapezium. This side is 13. This side is 23. The distance between the two parallel sides is 5. So that gives you the area of the trapezium is 90. Now, if we remove the area of the white side, the unshaded, that will give us the area of the gray part left. So how do we find the area of this white part or the unshaded part? We integrate to find that area. We'll integrate from one point to another point to find the area of that unshaded part. So we'll integrate from 0 up to 5. And that will give us the answer for that. So when you integrate and sub in that, you will get 455 over 12. And then 90 minus 455 over 12, you get 625 over 12 units squared for the shaded part. That's the area of R. And when you do the integration, you can check it with a calculator to make sure you get that answer. Question number 8. So for question 8a, we want to find dy over dx. So we differentiate px cubed. You got 3px squared. Now to differentiate qxy, you will have to use product rule. So qx is your u and your y is your v. So it's qx times dy over dx plus y times times q, because if you differentiate qx, you get q. Differentiate 3y squared, you get 6y, and then don't forget add dy over dx. You rearrange it to make dy over dx the subject. So qx plus 6y comes out of the bracket. Dy over dx is common. And then 3px squared goes to the right, and 9qy goes to the right. And you rearrange it, and that gives you dy over dx. For part B, they want us to find the values for P and the value of Q. So we know -1, -4 is on the curve. So substitute -1 for x, -4 for y, -1 for x, -4 for y. And that gives us, that's equals to 26. And that gives us minus P plus 4Q is equals to minus 22. So the gradient of the normal is minus 19 over 26. Now, what we know now is dy over dx. We had dy over dx, so we substitute -1, -4, -1, -4. Make that equals to the 26 over 19. And when you solve it, you get P to be 2 and Q to be -5. Question number 9, we want to show that the left-hand side equals to 9 over 28. So if we put n is 2, or we start at 2, we'll get 9 over 16. We put n is 3, we get minus 27 over 64. You put n is 4, you get 81 over 256. So now, the first term is 9 over 16, that's A. The common ratio is -3 over 4. So it would be using the formula for sum to infinity, that one there. So A is 9 over 16, common ratio is -3 over 4, and that gives you 9 over 28. Question number 10. Use t equals to a l to the power b, put log in front, log 10, log to the base 10, log to the base 10. When you multiply two things, you separate them. Now, you want to arrange them to look like y equals to mx plus c. So the gradient is 0.45 divided by 0.91. If you look on the diagram, 0.45 divided by 0.91. That gives you your gradient of 0.495 to 3 significant figure. Once you got your gradient, you use minus 0.7, that point there for x, and y is 0. And the gradient to find log A to the base 10, which is your intercept. So that means log A to the base 10 equal to 0.346. And then so be 10 to the power of 0.346. 2.21 is our A. So you can write now T is equal to 2.22 L to the power 0.495. For part C, with reference to the model, interpret the value of the constant A. The constant A is the time taken for one swing of a pendulum of length 1 meter. Time taken. Question number 11. Part A. So what we want to do when we sketch it, the vertex of y equals to 2x minus 3k, it would be 3 over 2k and 0. So that's the vertex, that's that point there. 3 over 2k and 0, and it crosses the y-axis at 0, 3k. Where it crosses the y-axis, you put x is 0. So when x is 0, that becomes 0 there. And the other one will be 3k. So it crosses at 0, 3k. So you can have 3 over 2k, 0. So x equals to 0. You got that with k, 0 minus 2k. So if you solve that, f of x equal to 0, so k goes to the right. And if you solve that, you got x equals to 2k. And if you use the negative one, you solve that, you got x equals to k. That's what you get, k 0 there, and 2k 0 there. That's where it crosses the x-axis. And 0 minus 2k crosses the y-axis, and that's the vertex. If we make k minus absolute value of 2x minus 3k equals to x minus k, we can rearrange it using the positive condition to get x equals to 5k over 3. And when we use the negative, we'll get x equals to k. And imagine that green line is y equals to x minus k. So they meet at that point there, x equals to 5k over 3. So you're looking at the red graph and the green graph. The red graph and the green graph. Where is the red graph above the green graph? It's only at that point that's been highlighted there. That's the point where the red graph is above the green graph. So it's between k less than x less than 5k over 3. So that is where the red graph is above the green graph. And in set notation, x is you put the curly bracket, x is an element of real numbers such that a is less than x less than 5k over 3. Or you can write it like this. X is less than 5k over 3, intersection x is greater than k. So it's between that 2 points there. So x is between those 2 points there. So x is less than 5k over 3. And the next point here is x is greater than k. But C, find in terms of k the coordinates of the minimum point of the graphic equation. So what we have is the maximum of y equals to f of x is the 3 over 2k times k. That's the maximum. For the minimum of y is 3 minus 5f of half x. So what you do is the half inside is a stretch of 2 inside the x direction. So the half means times 2, a stretch of 2 in the x direction. And so it would be 3 times 2 times 3 over 2k. 3 over 2k times 2. 2 will cancel. It gives you 3k. And then we'll have 3 minus 5k for the y, but 3 minus 5k. Question number 12. Use the substitution u equals to 1 plus square root of x. So we rearrange it. That means x is u minus 1 all squared. So when x is 0, u is 1. When x is 16, u is 5. Now we have dx over du. Dx over du is equal to 2 bracket u minus 1. So dx is equal to 2 bracket u minus 1 du. So what we want to do, we want to replace everything now. So instead of 0, we put 1. Instead of 16, we put 5. Instead of x, we put u minus 1 all squared. Instead of 1 plus root x, we put the u. And instead of the x, we put 2 bracket u minus 1 times the u. So everything has changed from x to everything in u. Now we put those together, and then we'll get this expression, and then we can integrate now easily. We have u minus 1 all cubed. When you expand it, you'll get that expression, and then it'll become simplified to that. In that way now, you would put the u minus 1 all cubed there, and the 2 goes out of the integral sign, and you divide by u. So when you simplify it, you get to that. So u cubed divided by u is u squared. 3u squared divided by u is 3u, and 3u divided by u is 3. Now when you integrate, you get this expression. So you replace u with 5 to get that, and after that you replace u with 1 to get that next one. And after that, the next thing is to rearrange it. So our aim is to rearrange that to get to this part there. So we use your calculator to do some simplifications of all of those. And you'll get 115 over 6 minus ln 5 minus 11 over 6. And you remove the bracket, and you get this expression there, 104 over 3 minus 2 ln 5. Question number 13. So you want to find dx over d theta. Differentiate with respect to 2 theta. Differentiate 2 theta, you get 2. And then differentiate with respect to sine, you get cos. So it's 2 cos 2 theta. And you want to find dy over d theta. So differentiate cosec theta cube. 3 will come in front, and it will be cosec theta squared cosec theta cot theta. Use the formula book to get the answer for that, and then you get that expression. And then to get dy over dx, is dy over d theta divided by dx over d theta. So that expression divided by 2 cos 2 theta. That's your answer. For part B, it says find exact value of the gradient. So you got y equals to 8. So cosec cube theta equals to 8. So 1 over sine cube, because cosec is 1 over sine, is equals to 8. You solve that, you get 1 over 2 equals to sine theta. So theta is pi over 6. So where we see theta, we put pi over 6, pi over 6, pi over 6. And use your calculator, get minus 24 over root 3. So take your time and work all of this out. Cot pi over 3 is 1 over tan pi over 3, pi over 6. Cot pi over 6. Cosec is 1 over sine, so you put 1 over sine. And you do all that simplification, you get minus 24 root 3. Question number 14. 14 part A. Show that according to the model, 1200 dH over dt is equal to 24 minus 5h. So we find dV over dt, that's meters cubed per minute. dV over dt is 0.48 minus 0.1 h. So after t minutes, volume in tank, V is 8 times 3 times h, 241 meters cubed. So what we want to do, 24h, 8 times 3 is 24. So the volume in the tank is 24h meters cubed. dV over dH, it would be 24 meters cubed per meter. So dH over dV is 1 over 24. So dH over dt would be dV over dt times the 1 over 24, which you put them together, dH over dt is equals to 0.48 minus 0.1 h over 24. And you rearrange it, you will get that expression there. The way I use for doing this type of question, I use dH over dt is dV over dt times dH over dV. If you notice the dV and the dV can cancel out, you're left with dH over dt, which is the same on the left. So that's dV over dt there times dH over dV. And you rearrange it, you get that expression. Now, to integrate, you put everything with the h and h on the left and the others on the right. So you would have integral of dt will just give you t. And when you integrate that, you would have differentiated the denominator first. Differentiate 24, you get 0. Differentiate minus 5h, you get minus 5. So it would be 240 ln 24 minus 5h plus c. Substitute t equals to 0 and h equals to 2. You get the value for c. And that's how you can write down the equation. T equals to that. So what we want to do now is we divide by 240. So t divided by 240 is equal to ln 14 over 24 minus 5h. So to get rid of the ln, it becomes e to the power t over 240. And then you can cross multiply or swap these two. So 24 minus 5h is equal to 14 over that. Since we are looking for h, we just swap these two together. So that means h will be 24/5 minus 14/5 e to the power of minus t over 240. We have that equation there. If t becomes a very large number, let's look at only that e to the minus t over 240. That is 1 over e to the t over 240. It becomes 1 divided by a very large number. And that will become almost 0. So that will be, all of this will become 0. And that means you end up with 24/5 when t becomes very large, because this expression becomes 0. Another way you can look at it is you can use either of these to explain them. You can use any of them to help you. So the limit for h according to the model is 4.8. So the limit is that 4.8 there, or 24/5. Because the tank is 5 meters, so the tank will never become full. Because when h is 5, the tank will be emptying, so it can never be full. You cannot solve the equation when h equals to 5. So choose any of those reasons, and that will be fine for that part C. So the tank will never become full. Okay, thank you. Question number 15. 15 part A. When you expand using the compound angle formula, you can compare. So that means cos theta is equals to, we compare the cos theta. So 2 equals to r cos alpha. 1 equals to r sine alpha. That's the r sine alpha is equals to the 1 there. And then r cos alpha is equals to that 2. And then tan alpha is 1/2, which you get from sine alpha over cos alpha. So alpha is 0.464, and r is that 2 squared plus the 1 squared, square root of 5. So you can write it as square root of 5 cos bracket theta plus 0.464. So you have h equals to that expression there. And now maximum is h equals to 3 plus 2 root 5. Because all of this is equals to 1. And you would solve it, you got 2 pi, and then t will be 11.6. So when you have cosine, the maximum there is 1, minimum is -1. And at 2 pi, you get 1. So for part C, h is equal to 0. So put that equal to 0 to solve it. So you take -3 to the right, and then you divide by 2 root 5. And in inverse cosine of that, it gives you this answer, and it repeats every 360 degrees. So you keep adding more, and then you solve t to be 3.68 and 7.02. So the time required, 7.02, and then 3.68. So that gives you 3.34. Because 7.02 minus 3.68, 3.34 seconds. And part D, the 3 would need to vary when you do that. So that's the complete answer for part D. The 3 would need to vary, and for part C is 3.34. So we'll finally come to the end of that paper. Don't forget to go into www.anago.com, and for the secondary section, you subscribe into the course, which is it's free for first 7 days, and the course is very cheap course, and I provide all the solutions to past papers, and you can ask any other question. You have 24-hour access. So those are the advantages of being when you're part of this group. So don't forget to join. I have 24/7 access, and you can read some of the reviews there and some of the things we do. So thank you very much, and good luck with your exams.